The retirement account I had built for 31 years showed a balance of $14.82, and the man who emptied it was on stage at our church banquet accepting an award for community integrity. My hands went cold around the program. His wife smiled under the chandeliers. My name was still printed in his client success brochure. My name is Daniel Mercer. I was 59 then, a fleet maintenance supervisor for the city of Columbus, Ohio, making $84,000 a year and counting down to retirement on a yellow legal pad taped inside my locker. My wife, Ellen, had passed 3 years earlier, and the $612,000 in my retirement account was our final plan together. Sell the house, buy a small cabin near Lake Erie, fish at sunrise, breathe again. My advisor was Grant Hollis, 46, polished shoes, silver hair, a voice like warm coffee. He had handled my 401k rollover after Ellen got sick. He attended our church, brought casseroles after the funeral, and called me brother with a hand on my shoulder. Dan, he told me in his downtown office, where everything smelled like leather and lemon polish. My job is to protect what you and Ellen built. I believed him. The first signs were small enough to step over. In January, my quarterly statement was delayed because of a platform upgrade. In February, Grant stopped returning calls until after 7 p.m., always with traffic noise behind him and the same tight laugh. "You worry too much, Dan," he said. "This is exactly why you hired me." Then his assistant, Mia, quit without a goodbye. I found her packing a cardboard box in the hallway. Eyes red, fingers trembling around a stapler. "Ask for paper copies," she whispered. "What?" She looked toward Grant's closed door. "Just don't let him talk you out of paper." The discovery came on March 15th, a rainy Wednesday that made the whole city smell like wet asphalt. I sat at my kitchen table with burnt toast untouched beside me and logged into the new client portal Grant had sent. The screen loaded slowly. My knee bounced under the table. Then the numbers appeared. $14.82. Not $614,000. Not $600,000. $14.82. My ears rang so hard I could hear my pulse. I clicked statements, holdings, transaction history. Every line led to the same phrase: Horizon Ridge Growth Fund, private placement. Redemptions, restricted. Market value, unavailable. I called Grant. He answered on the fourth ring. "Grant," I said, my mouth dry as chalk. "Why is my account showing $14? A pause. Papers rustled. "That's a display error," he said. "Then tell me the real balance." "Dan, you need to come in. We shouldn't discuss complex products over the phone." My hand shook so badly the phone tapped my cheek. "Did you move my money?" He exhaled, slow and annoyed. "You signed the authorization." "I signed a conservative income strategy." "No," he said softly. "You signed what I recommended." The second layer was worse. At his office, Grant slid a folder across the glossy conference table. The air smelled like expensive cologne and fresh ink. Inside were forms with my signature on them approving high-risk alternative investments. My stomach tightened. "That's not my signature," I said. Grant leaned back. "It looks like yours. It looks traced." His smile flickered. Then I saw the fund documents. Horizon Ridge was supposedly building senior housing communities in Arizona. Except the address listed was a rented mailbox in Scottsdale. The fund manager, R. Hollis Capital, shared the same registered agent as Grant's wife's boutique charity. And buried in the fine print was a 12% placement fee paid directly to Grant's firm. "You put my retirement into your own family's shell?" I said. His jaw tightened. "Careful, Dan." My grief turned into something heavier. For 2 weeks, I slept in pieces, waking at 2:13 a.m. to the refrigerator hum and the blue glow of the microwave clock. Ellen's framed photo on the dresser felt like a witness. I could smell her lavender hand cream on the scarf still hanging behind the door, and shame sat on my chest like wet cement. I replayed every handshake, every prayer circle, every trust me. I stopped opening mail. I ate soup from the can. When my brother Marcus called, I let it ring until the silence felt louder than the phone. The turning point came at church the following Sunday. Grant stood near the coffee urn, laughing, gold watch flashing, while an elderly widow named Mrs. Kaplan clutched his arm. "Grant helped me after Harold passed," she told me, smiling. "He says my money is finally working hard." The room smelled like burnt coffee and powdered donuts. My fingers curled around the paper cup until it buckled. Grant winked at me. That wink saved me. It burned the shame right out. I called Marcus from the parking lot. "You were right," I said, rain tapping the windshield like fingernails. "I need help." Marcus, a retired police accountant, didn't ask questions. Don't warn him. Don't threaten him. We build a box around him. By Monday, I had hired Rebecca Chun, a securities attorney with sharp eyes and a quiet office overlooking High Street. Her conference room smelled like green tea and printer toner. I brought every statement, email, voicemail, and church bulletin where Grant advertised fiduciary stewardship. Rebecca tapped the forged forms with a red pen. "We start with preservation letters. His firm, the custodian, the fund, everyone. No deleting. No shredding." Marcus found Horizon Ridge's filings. The Arizona projects were empty lots with expired permits. One photo in the brochure showed palm trees and a fountain. Reverse image search proved it was a hotel courtyard in Palm Springs. Rebecca smiled for the first time. "That's useful." Then the first twist landed. Mia, Grant's former assistant, agreed to meet us at a library. She arrived in a gray coat, face pale under fluorescent lights. "He used DocuSign templates," she whispered. "He'd paste client signatures from old forms." "Do you have proof?" Rebecca asked. Mia swallowed. "I copied the audit logs before I left." The plan was careful, quiet, and legal. Rebecca filed complaints with the State Securities Division, FINRA, and the SEC. Marcus made a spreadsheet matching every Horizon Ridge investor from Grant's seminar sign-in sheets to public transfer records. I called people one by one, keeping my voice steady while my hand cramped around the receiver. "Did Grant move your funds into Horizon Ridge?" I asked. Some hung up. Some cried. 12 said yes. Meanwhile, I played my part. I texted Grant like a scared, confused client. "I'm thinking of selling my truck to cover expenses. Can you confirm my money is safe?" He replied within minutes. "Absolutely. Temporary valuation issue. Do not contact regulators. They will freeze everything and hurt investors." Rebecca read it and nodded. "Beautiful. He just documented intent to conceal." Our trap was a town hall Grant had scheduled at church on April 28th, called Faithful Investing in Uncertain Times. The fellowship hall smelled of floor wax, coffee, and the lilacs someone had placed near the podium. I sat in the third row, palms damp, a tiny recorder in my jacket pocket, though Rebecca's investigator had better equipment near the back. Grant wore a navy suit and that gold watch. His smile swept the room like a spotlight. "Your money is secure," he told 43 people. "Horizon Ridge owns tangible real estate assets." A woman behind me whispered, "Thank goodness." My phone buzzed. "Rebecca, state investigator is here. Keep him talking." During questions, I stood. My knees felt hollow, but my voice carried. "Grant, can you tell us the address of the main Horizon Ridge property?" His eyes narrowed for half a second. "Dan, that level of detail is in the materials." I checked. The brochure photo is from a hotel in California. The room shifted. Chairs creaked. Someone coughed. Grant laughed. "Online rumors are dangerous." I held up a folder. "Is our Hollis Capital connected to your wife, Rachel Hollis?" His face drained so fast it looked like the lights dimmed. "Sit down," he said. "Answer him," Mrs. Kaplan said, her voice thin but sharp. Grant stepped away from the podium. "This is inappropriate." Then Rebecca walked in from the side door with 2 state securities investigators and a man from Grant's brokerage firm. The room went silent except for the old refrigerator buzzing in the kitchen. "Mr. Hollis," one investigator said, "we need you to come with us to your office." Grant looked at me like I had pulled the floor from under him. "You did this," he said. I felt my heartbeat in my throat. "No, Grant. You did." The climax came 3 weeks later in a FINRA emergency hearing downtown. The room was beige, cold, and smelled like stale coffee. Grant sat across from me. No gold watch, collar too tight, lips pressed white. His attorney had a stack of papers. Rebecca had a laptop, Mia's audit logs, and the transfer trail. Grant tried one last performance. "Daniel understood the risks," he said. "He was chasing higher returns." Rebecca clicked a remote. On the screen appeared an email from Grant to Mia. "Use Dan Mercer's prior signature. He won't understand the private placement forms." The air vanished from the room. Grant's attorney froze. Rebecca clicked again. A bank record showed Horizon Ridge funds paying for Rachel Hollis's boutique lease. their kitchen remodel, and $38,400 in consulting fees to Grant's personal company. I looked at him. His skin had gone gray. "Grant," the arbitrator said, voice flat, "did you forge Mr. Mercer's authorization?" Grant stared at the table. His wife, seated behind him, whispered, "Tell me that isn't real." He didn't answer. Mrs. Kaplan was there too, gripping a cane with both hands. "You took Harold's insurance money," she said, trembling. "You prayed with me." Grant finally looked up, eyes wet, voice barely there. "I was going to put it back." Rebecca shut her laptop. "With whose money?" That was the moment he ended. Not loudly, not dramatically, just a polished man shrinking in a beige room while every mask fell off at once. The aftermath was everything justice should feel like. Grant was fired that afternoon, his license suspended, then permanently revoked. State charges followed for securities fraud and forgery. Rachel filed for divorce when investigators traced client money into her charity accounts. Their house went on the market. His name came down from the church donor wall before Sunday service. FINRA awarded me full restitution, $612,000, plus lost growth, attorney fees, and punitive damages. The brokerage firm paid because they ignored warning signs. Mrs. Kaplan and 9 others recovered their money too. Mia got whistleblower protection and later sent me a card that smelled faintly of vanilla. "Thank you for believing me." I sold the big house that fall, not out of defeat, but freedom. I bought a smaller place near Lake Erie with a porch facing the water. Mornings smell like pine, coffee, and cold lake air. Marcus visits on weekends. I still work part-time now, teaching city employees how to read financial statements before they trust anyone with a tie and a smile. Last month, I stood on my porch at sunrise, Ellen's old mug warm in my hands, and opened my new retirement statement. The numbers were safe, transparent, and mine. Grant stole my peace for a season, but he did not get my future. He taught me one lesson worth more than any investment seminar. Trust is not a signature you hand away. It is evidence.